Hello, Camino friends. Every week, there are hundreds of questions that are asked about the Camino. So this series is all about answering some of the most pressing questions that you have. My name is Linda G. Robert. I'm a travel coach, and I've walked two Caminos so far, the Del Norte by myself and the Central route with a really good friend. And I have something that will help you take the first step if you're not quite ready. It's a free Camino starter guide, a 10-step guide to help you prepare for the Camino. And I've created it just for you. You can download it at lindagrobert.com/Camino. It's packed with insights and tips and inspiration to help you plan your first Camino or maybe your second one. So here is the first question for you. Can I camp while walking the Camino and put up a tent? Now, camping is possible on the Camino, but not very common. The French way has very few campgrounds and discourages wild camping. The Camino del Norte has more campsites, and some pilgrims camp near beaches. The primitive way, the Camino Primitivo, is very remote, making camping possible in some areas, but difficult due to limited facilities. Now, the Portuguese central and coastal routes have a few designated camping spots, but wild camping is not officially permitted in Spain or in Portugal and can result in fines. Now, most pilgrims prefer staying in albergues, which are affordable and more convenient than carrying a tent. So you really have to look into some very specific sites if you do plan on tenting. Now, here's another question. Do I need to use euros or credit cards when walking the Camino? So Spain and Portugal use the euros. So carrying some cash is important. I think it's sometimes even considered essential, while credit cards and debit cards are accepted in major towns. Many small albergues, cafeterias, and shops might only take cash. The French way and the Portuguese central route have frequent ATMs in big towns like Pamplona, Burgos, Leon, Porto, and Tui, for example. The Camino del Norte and Camino Primitivo have fewer ATMs, so withdrawing money in larger cities is recommended. So a mix of cash and cards is best, and using a travel-friendly card with no foreign transaction fees can help avoid extra charges. So I would always have euros on me, and I paid by cash. And when I got to a large city, I would find an ATM machine, use my MasterCard or my Visa card to withdraw money. Of course, that always incurs some additional fees, so you have to be careful with those extra charges as well. So here's another question. It's the last one for today's video. What kind of water bottle should I bring, or should I purchase water as I go? All right, another good question. A 1 to 2 liter water bottle is ideal, and many pilgrims prefer carrying 2 smaller bottles for better weight distribution. I had 2 smaller water bottles on the sides here in my backpack. A hydration bladder, like a Camelback, allows for hands-free drinking. Tap water is generally safe in Spain and in Portugal, but a filter bottle, I should say, like a Life Straw or Grail, can also be useful for refilling from older fountains or natural sources. The French way has frequent water fountains, while the Camino del Norte and the Primitivo have fewer, and I'll attest to that. The Del Norte didn't have that many fountains to refill my bottles. I needed to make sure that my water bottles were filled before I left the next day, especially because I was staying in hotels. I was able to fill up my bottles then. So the Portuguese central and coastal route have many refill stations, but some fountains are marked as non-potable. So buying bottled water along the way is an option. but is more expensive, of course, and you're creating plastic waste. Now, if you're in a hotel, you can always refill the water bottle there. If you're in a hostel, you can also ask them to refill it as well before you head off on your day. See you next time for more questions and answers.